Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bearded Ranger. Today we're going to take a look at Crimson Desert and the graphic specifications because that information just dropped. And I know we've all been waiting with bated breath on it. Okay. So, notice this PC, console, Mac performance specs. Right. Find Crimson Desert's PC, console, and Mac performance specifications below. Before playing the game, please make sure your hardware meets or exceeds the minimum requirements. I'm going to be honest with you, looking at this real quick, I would have been at the low end. I would have been at minimum, sorry. 100% I would have been at minimum just a month ago. I'm a father of 3 and I really put off getting a new PC until recently. And now I am unfortunately just below Ultra because I have an NVIDIA 560. Everything else though, like I'm ready to go at the Ultra end. So we'll see what I can do about that, but I'm sure I'll be at high. And that's okay. But you'll need 16 gigs, 150 gigs of space, 16 gigs of RAM. Specifications are pretty standard, straightforward. They're nothing crazy. I mean, even just to get to recommended, they're definitely nothing crazy. The performance figures shown are based on internal testing results. Performance may vary depending on your PC's hardware and software configuration, as well as changes made to individual graphic settings. The latest DirectX 12 is required. Alright. Console specifications. I'm sure this is the biggest one for people to keep in mind, and we're looking forward to. When you look at the PlayStation 5, the standard PlayStation 5, you can get upscaled to 4K if you want to play in quality mode, but that drops your frame rate down to 30, but you then get high ray tracing. So that'll be an interesting trade-off. PlayStation Pro, at the quality, you can get 4K with 30 frames and ray tracing at Ultra. I wonder what the difference in the ray tracing would be, looks-wise. And then Xbox Series S, you can get performance or quality, but the quality is basically at the performance level of the standard PlayStation 5 with lower frame rate and no ray tracing. So it's just 1080p and worse. And then Xbox Series X, you do pretty well. It's upscaled 4K from 1440, and then it's at 30 frames and ray tracing on high. So it won't meet what the PlayStation Pro does, but you'll get pretty good. It'll look great on the screen, I'm sure. This requires compatible display and HDMI 2.1 cable. It also requires VRR compatible display and HDMI 2.1 cable. Yeah, we know that. So, those are just things to keep in mind when you see the little stars there and there and there. Alright, ROG Xbox Ally specifications. With the Ally standard, you're just going to get 720 resolution, 40 frames per second. If you have the Ally X, you can get up to 1080p with 30 frames per second, and you definitely need 150 gigs, so that seems like it's going to be the case across the board. The performance figures shown are based on internal testing, so same as before. Mac specifications, I think this one is also, besides console, was the one people were really interested in because Macs aren't known for gaming, at least not yet. So if you look at, you're going to need 16 gigs of RAM, 150 gigs of storage, so that's across the board. If you want high, you can get 1440 or with 30 frames, or 60 depending if you which version you have. If you have Mac 15 or 26 plus, that'll depend on that. It looks all pretty good, pretty standard. Obviously, I think PC it's going to look the best on. Second, it'll look best on the PS5 Pro. And then the PS5 with the Xbox Series X and Xbox Ally X will look pretty good. Obviously, you can get the Mac to look really great, but what you don't know is what ray tracing will look like, and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to be interested in on seeing is how does it look from somebody playing on a Mac. You're going to be able to play it, but just how good will it look in comparison to the other systems. I think if you have a PS5 Pro, you're going to be really happy. PC, it looks like you could potentially be really happy, but even people with low-end PCs may be able to play it at the minimum qualifications. And then if you have an Xbox Series X or a PS5 standard, I think you're going to be pretty happy. I think what's going to be interesting is definitely be prepared if you play quality right away that there may be bugs at launch. I don't think it'll be bugs in the first area, but as you get further into the game, I'm betting that they're going to be patching the end game while we're trying to get to it. So just be careful that you save it a lot in case it does glitch out on you and create a situation where you can't play the game and it bugs out on you. So be prepared to throttle up and down on the type of display you're going to have at points in the game, especially early after launch before some patches come out. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.